broke the crankshaft of the 750 engine that was in the Jeffrey at Golspie last September, and I replaced it with the standard 850 Reliant Robin engine that was in my Hamlin Austin 7 Special. I felt that it was a bit slow. It only had 39 brake horsepower as standard, so I decided to try and make a quicker engine. Had a couple of attempts at getting the engine to go better. First attempt, I put it in last year. It was a what was it now? Last year I put in an engine I had lying. It was an 850. It had head work done to it, and we're not sure what else. I slapped it in the car, but I couldn't get it to run. It felt like I had not much compression in the engine, so it was suspected it was valves. So this year I put it together yet again, did the head work to it, ground the valves in, put it back together, put it in the car, couldn't get it to run again. So took it back out and then put the head and cam into the standard Reliant Robin engine that had been in the car, and then took that down to Harewood. That's Harewood Hillclimb down in Yorkshire, and the car ran quite well. It was, initially I had the SU carb on it. I didn't like that. The first day, the Saturday, it didn't like high revs. Changed the carb on Saturday afternoon, and Sunday morning tried it, and it seemed to pull an awful lot better. Pulled all the revs that I wanted, and then I managed to get all my runs done. Got faster all day, and then final run, it started making a knocking noise, a shrieking noise as I was driving up, and then a knocking noise. So I've done some damage to it. Maybe the gearbox, maybe a bearing in the gearbox. It might be the clutch release bearing. Don't think it's a clutch, or it could possibly be a big end bearing gone, quite possibly. So strip it down and find out what's happened to it, and then I need to figure out what engine we're going to put in next. So yeah, right across there. Maybe a bit closer. You're probably a bit close. Still focus. Still focus. There you go. One broken crankshaft. Come on. My race camshaft. It's looking okay. A bit of rust there. There's a bit of moisture in the block from sitting in the tent. This one looks like it's got decent rockers, but it's got the alloy posts rather than the steel posts on the other one, and it's only got single valve springs on the head. Yeah, this cylinder head's been ported as well. The inlets have certainly been enlarged and shaped, as have the exhausts. Definite signs of being worked in there. Ooh, they're nice. This was the head off the 750. There's certainly different combustion chamber shapes compared with the one off the 850. More kidney shaped and a lot more relief around the inlet valves. I also noticed that this one using smaller diameter tappets in the block. The other one had been bored out and it's got mini tappets. Zero that. Right, so we'll measure this lobe, I think. Zero that. And this one is giving me about 265 approximately. That's 0.265, 264 thousandths. And measure this other one, zero. This is a cam, the Newman 714. Zero this again, zeroed. Measure that, zero it again, and measure the lift. And that's giving me 335. Yeah, so this is a much higher lift cam. So I'll be fitting the Newman cam rather than the, which appears to be pretty standard cam. Right, I think I've got the keepers in. I should gently release the pressure. Right, that's one valve in. Yep, that looks fine. Yeah, 27mm was the old inlet, and it was 28.6, these ones. 28.6. That's all the valves and springs and retainers fitted. Next thing to do is put the cam and the front cover and the timing chain and the distributor drive and the oil pump. It's the timing gear on, camshaft's in, water pump's in, distributor drive is in, the correct way around. Right, that's the head gasket on. I've coated the cylinder head with well seal. Looks like the right way around. Over there somewhere. So, got a couple of extra baffles in that one. Hasn't got any windage tray in it. That's the sump on the replacement engine. That's assembly coming along. Sump's on, flywheel's on, clutch is on and aligned. Alternator's on. Put in the little bleed and drain there for the water. Put the blanking plate on where the water, where the petrol pump was. Put the oil pressure gauge in. Still got to change the water temperature sensor. I've got an analog one that screws in there. I've got my filler on. Fan belts on. I've marked the timing marks on the flywheel and on the front crank pulley. What else I need to put in it? I need to change the oil filter. Take the oil filter off and change that. And then it's a case of dropping it in that hole. That seems okay there. Bang bang. Yes, it's stubbornly not wanting to work. I've put the distributor around the other way. It seemed to be 180 degrees out despite all my careful calculations, unless it can go in two ways. But yeah, it's most reluctant to fire. It does have some compression. Whether it's got enough, I'm not sure. I'm seeing about 75 pounds on that one. The next move is to rebuild that one again. Put the head and cam in that one. Right, I've tried yet another engine. This is the original Robin engine, but I've changed the head and the cam in it. I did try that block again. Still low compression on it, so it must be piston rings, worn bores. Could not get it to fire. At Harewood, I think I've done some damage to the gearbox or the clutch release bearing, certainly shrieking away and rattling, so I don't know what I've done. Could be a clutch bearing, an input bearing in the clutch. Seems to be coming from the front of the gearbox area, clutch area. Quite a rattle, so just in the process of taking the gearbox out and have a look and see if there's anything obvious there. But yeah, it was shrieking away on the final run at Harewood Hillclimb, and when I was trying to start it up there, I was getting a rattle coming from it. So continue unbolting the gearbox and pull it out. I don't see anything immediately wrong with the gearbox or the clutch release arm. There is a very slight tight spot there, so that might be the culprit. It was making an awful rattling noise. And the bearings behind all seem quiet, and the balls are going round. The balls are all present. Doesn't seem to be anything wrong with the clutch, but the rattle seems to be coming from this area. whether it was just the adjustment of that arm and that bearing going very slightly tight. Yeah, there is a, I mean, there's a natural sort of springiness to it there. Yeah, possibly, but it's not enough that I would think it would be whining. It feels well lubricated, unless it was just continuously pressing against the fingers in there and starting to shriek. But it was sort of a clattering noise when I tried to start it up earlier. The only other thing is it spun a bearing on the crank. But it does seem to go around alright. Doesn't seem any tight spots. Connected up the starter motor. Let's see what it does. Right. That seems alright without the spark plugs in. Nope, done the big ends in. It's definitely done the big ends. So depending on the state of the crank and the pistons and the rods in that one, I might have to use some donor parts from this one, or I could recommission the 750 Darby that's sitting over there. But again, it's sat for 40 years, so it really needs to come totally apart. Yet another broken car. This one threw the check engine light and went onto 2 cylinders. Misfires on 4 and 2. So it's going to the auto electricians next week.